We appreciate him doing it today. All right, good stuff there. Johnny Mac, 15 days of training camp done. We got about an hour left to go here on Birds 365. I want to welcome and thank everybody for being here. John referenced it. We did have a night show last night. It was a late one. We apologize for that. It was on me. I was a little late, a little behind yesterday. So we ran that up at 8 p.m. If you missed it, you can check it out from yesterday's day 15. Makai Lemon was back. That was good, John. I was excited to see that. And the Eagles put out a little video of the receivers going to work. And it's good to see DeVonta Smith back out there, man, because that dude is freaking smooth with the way he runs routes and just does even just his footwork in the cone drills. You're just like, man, that dude is smooth. He is smooth with the way he plays the game.
Yeah, people ask, how do you evaluate? There's certain guys, and you can go all the way back to when we talked about him when he was a rookie. I'm like, this guy's different, and you see it, and you literally see it, just how smooth, how sharp he is, and everything. And I've been talking about this whole time. I'm not worried about DeVonta. I'm not worried about DeVonta. 7-on-7s, they broke out. He makes the biggest play in 7-on-7s. He made, a toe tap at that, really dragged his speed at the sideline. Shouldn't have caught the ball, but he did, and it was inbounds. Bang, bang, right off the bat. Short practice, but he's involved. Makai, they tried to get involved. Very difficult. They finally got him a little reception, probably for about 4 or 5 yards late in the practice. So it's going to be a process with Makai Lemon. But DeVonta, yeah, I'll spike the football. Didn't have to worry about him. Don't have to worry about him. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. That's good news for Eagles and the wide receiving group with DeVonta Smith. How long do you think it could take Lemon to try and jump Wicks for that 2? You think it's all year it's going to be Wicks at number 2?
Well, I think it's going to be Wicks for the first 2 months at the bare minimum. I mean, that a lot of that depends on Wicks. One of the things I was talking about, and it may be nothing, but it may be something. The reputation about Dontayvion Wicks coming in was great route runner. That is true. Generates separation. Not the fastest guy in the world. Obviously, that's true. You can't hide stopwatch speed. And he dropped the football a lot in Green Bay, and that's how he lost playing time. Now, he did that in the spring, and you said, this could be a problem. But in the summer, he's been pretty clean catching the football. So I was thinking about it yesterday, and I'm like, for the vast majority of this summer, he's been the number one target at wide receiver because DeVonta's been out, Makai's been out. And he's getting a lot of traffic, and he's involved. Now that he's less involved, do those concentration issues prop up again? And do you start seeing the drops a little bit here and there? That's what I'm concerned about with Dontayvion Wicks. When he's not the guy who's involved, think of it, I always use the basketball analogies. He's the number one option. He's the number one scorer. Now he's got to be a complement. Does he have the same focus, the same attention to detail, or do those drops start popping up again? So that's something to keep an eye on. But early in the season, I don't see any way Makai Lemon is going to be the wide receiver 2 in 12 personnel.
Yeah.
It's going to be Wicks, and that's the luxury of playing time. If he handles it and he plays well, they're not taking him off, and he'll be the wide receiver 2 the entire season.
Yep, fair enough. Yesterday, Makai Lemon, after returning to practice, did mention they talked about being more professional off the field, was the quote that he used. I thought it was an interesting comment from Makai Lemon. You spoke on it a little bit, John, last night. For those who missed it, maybe shed some light on what you think of that. That was a Makai Lemon comment yesterday after being asked. He tweaked the same hamstring that he did in the spring, and then mentioned about being more professional off the field. J-Mac, would you make of that and give us your thoughts?
Yeah, it's just as I said to Jeff, I think it's a positive. A lot of people took it as a negative. I took it as a positive. I think it's very important.
A little more as a negative, J-Mac.
Yeah, I think it's, and I used the Deshaun Jackson example with you last night. A lot of 21, 22, 23-year-old players just roll out of bed and they can do anything.
I
The
just didn't know
early,
what the off the field part meant. You know what I mean? Like that's where I was like, does he mean something that like did he get hurt playing pickup basketball? Did he retweet like something like that? Did he do something that he realized, all right, I'm a professional football player now. I
no,
can't
he
really
he added context to it, and it was he's got to do the right things when it comes to diet and hydration, and
Okay. Yeah. I didn't see the full
um
thing.
yeah, so I think it was all good. I think it was, and the quicker you learn that as a young player, the better it is, because you can basically roll out of bed if you're a top tier athlete that age and perform at a high level. But it's coming to get you at some point. And the quicker you know and you figure out that you have to take care of your body at a high level to be, you know, a star player in this league, the better it is. What you don't want is the Deshaun Jackson, cheetahs don't stretch. And
Yeah, right.
eventually cheetahs don't have to stretch, but human beings do. And the quicker you figure that out, so while as long as you learn from this process, and he seems to at least verbalize that ability to learn, it can turn into a positive. And I think that's the good part of it. But it does set him back in the short term. But he wasn't talking about being like a jackass off the field, or
Yeah, all right, that's good.
he was just talking about preparing his body better. So you're not in a position where you're going to feel tightness in your hamstring. So, you know, drink 2 gallons of water and drink Gatorade and do all that stuff.
Right.
Get the proper sleep, get the proper rest, and go out and, have fun, or, have a drink or whatever. Um, that's the stuff he was talking about, not anything untoward about even just playing pickup basketball. Um, he was just talking about taking care of his body.
Good stuff there from Makai Lemon. We'll see what that looks like then for him. Week 1 coming back. John, I'm going to stay on the rookies here and go to Eli Stowers. Obviously, it hasn't been a good camp for him. He tweaked a hamstring and was out yesterday. So Makai returns from a hamstring. Lemon is out, or Lemon. Stowers is out with a hamstring. What are they going to do at tight end, John? Are they going to keep 4? And hear me out. Is there a chance they would keep? I saw Tim McManus put Grant Calcaterra on the roster, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, if they don't feel like Eli Stowers as a pass catcher is ready to contribute, would that be the reason to keep a Grant Calcaterra around, who's another glorified pass catcher? You have your blocking tight end in Johnny Munt. You have your do-it-all tight end in Dallas Goedert. You got your extra pass catcher in Calcaterra. If they don't have confidence in Eli Stowers, what are you thinking about what they might do here at tight end with the roster?
Well, they changed the rules again, I think last year, so you can put 2 guys on IR at the cut to 53 that you can designate to return. So again, they're making it easier, which I don't like, but I do not think they would keep Grant Calcaterra if they keep Eli Stowers on the active roster. If they want to put him on IR to start the season and miss 4 games, then I think there's a good chance they keep Grant Calcaterra. Because I think the 3 guys who are going to make the initial 53 are Goddard, Munt, and Cam Latu, for the versatility aspect, not only tight end, but also fullback and also special teams. So if you want to go that route and put Stowers on IR to start the season, then you keep Calcaterra as well. So I think that could be a possibility. I don't think you're keeping Stowers and Calcaterra. Just my opinion. But Eli's not ready to play. So I think they're going to start him on injured reserve. I think. That's sort of where I'm speculating right now. He's just not ready. He's just
where
not
he would
ready.
miss the first 4 games.
Yeah. And he's not ready, and they don't have enough depth at tight end to just stick him on the back end and make him inactive, because he'd be inactive. And then you're down to Goddard, Muntz, and Cam Latu. Now you can also, because it is kind of again, ego comes into it. You don't want to signal your second round pick is not ready to play at all. And you can just carry him and you'd be able to get Grant Calcaterra on the practice squad. And I think Grant is vested now, so he doesn't even have to go through waivers. So you could do the wink deal, just put him on the practice squad, elevate him if you need him. So there's a lot of ways you can go with it. A lot of manipulations you can go with it. But yeah, he's vested, so he doesn't even have to go through waivers.
We'll see what ends up happening there. A couple super chats we'll get to. Here's Peter. What's up, Peter? Peter DePrado says this. What is everyone's thoughts on Jed York? That's the owner of the 49ers who was booked yesterday.
My thoughts are Jed York has a lot of money. Why does he have to go that route? That's my thought. That's my thought.
What do you do? Are you paying for prostitutes or something?
Yeah, $140 prostitute at some trailer park in Ohio.
Jeez.
Allegedly.
Yeah, right. Allegedly.
I'm looking up Jed York's net worth.
Welcome to the NFL, everybody. Your favorite teams, your favorite owners, your favorite players, they're not all
Jed York has an estimated personal net worth of $500 million. Now, I would think that alone, just taking a screenshot, could get you some action.
Yeah.
Now, look, let's be honest. Sometimes you don't want any of the headaches and you just want to get done what you got to get done. But I mean, come on. You got to have a better avenue than that, Jed York. That's my thoughts on that.
Got to get done what you got to get done. Pile Driver, thanks for the 1,000 jewels, brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you back in here.